Hey guys, Dr. Yerby here. I just finished grading your assignment 3, and for the most part, everyone did pretty well. I wanted to just quickly go through 3 example memos that I received and just give you some feedback on 3 that I really liked. Again, this is not something that there's a definite right answer. There's a few definite wrong answers. By not doing it or not supporting or not justifying your recommendation. But I just wanted to go through, I found 3 examples that I wanted to highlight and tell you what other people said and what I found interesting about theirs. So we'll start with this first one. I really appreciate that this person spoke in plain language. That says their current usage has increased by 2 or 3-fold from the baseline scan. That we can use cloud services. This person recommends that they move the current server configuration to the cloud plus virtualize internally, and then they give us some cost estimates. I really appreciate that when they're making this recommendation, this person made a recommendation, said why to do it, how much it'll cost, and really supported it. They also even go through, and I imagine this is through completing their table. They said we should also hire a cloud and virtualization architect or engineer to migrate the server to the cloud. It could be an upfront cost of a large amount, but in the end it would save us time. It would benefit the company as we expand more. Sorry. This next person, they again went through, and what I liked about this one, so they gave me some percentages in their memo. They said the average processing time has increased this much to an average processing time of this. And it tells me, again, it really clarifies what the problem is. So as the senior management reading this memo, I can read it and understand, hey, there's a problem. I need to address it. If I don't address it, then there's going to be a cost to my company. If I come in kind of wishy-washy saying, hey, there's not really a big problem. I think we can get some people working on it. We'll do some defrag. Nothing to worry about. Then what's the point of the memo? Why are you sending the memo? Or if I come in and I say, hey, I've got this big problem. You can do this, or this, or this. You might want to do that. Or Susie says you should do that. Or so-and-so says you should do this. And it's your decision. That's not really good leadership either on your part as the CIO or the network engineer or whatever your role is in this, where you're writing this memo. So again, I really like this person's memo because they say what the problem is, how much things have increased. They talk about reliability, fault tolerance. They give an estimate of $50,000 for this. We could explain what that $50,000 goes towards, but again, you were working for brevity's sake, so I'm not dinging anything for that. And then the cost can be eliminated by the network downtime. So they say, sure, it's going to cost some money, but this is the benefit. This is the return on the investment that you're going to make. So I really like this person because those seem like pretty realistic numbers. They gave real easy to digest, easy to understand feedback. Then the third person here, they say, again, they give the same kind of percentages, and they talk about, instead of talking about the benefits of invest this amount of money, they say, hey, if you don't do this, this is the negative consequences that are on its way. So you can go either way. I think I probably like this person's memo a little bit better on talking about the opportunities, but sometimes depending on who your audience is, depending on who your senior management is, you have to know, do they want to be presented with, here are the opportunities and it's only going to cost you XYZ, or if you do not pay XYZ, or if you do not give me the resources needed, then we're going to have problems, and these are the problems that you can expect. So neither one is wrong. Again, there's many ways to do this. And you see the very first one, they said, take it all to the cloud. The other two say, give me money and we'll upgrade our equipment. And then they give it, this last person gives a very, very straightforward, this is the solution. To remedy this situation, upgrade our server. Without getting too technical, I suggest upgrading the server to a server that can perform at 3 times the current configuration. So again, they didn't have to go deep into this memo to explain. Currently, we have 4 gigs of RAM or 8-core processor. They didn't have to get in those details. They just said that what we have now is not sufficient to move forward. And then they said we need to be prepared to continue increase success. So even though this person came in first with the doom of this is going to be the downside, they did at least end it on a positive note, which I think is good for sending a note to management. So again, there's no wrong answer, but I enjoyed reading the different ways that people approach this project problem. And I hope that this is something new for you to think about. I know that pretty much everyone has certainly Control-Alt-Delete and say, what's hanging my system up? But now, hopefully you're thinking of, there's a lot more things in there of just, hey, my Chrome browser's taking all of my RAM, right? Which it does, but I continue to use it. But so that's definitely something you have to think about. And right now we're looking at a machine. But think about this: if we're running a Type 1 hypervisor, or it could be Type 2, but we're running a hypervisor that's running 40, 50, 60 servers or thin clients, whatever it is, and we've allocated resources. We need to really be able to monitor those resources to make sure that we're making the most efficient use of our hardware. And it's something that we don't often think about, especially if we're thinking about a single machine. If something was at 80% utilization, your RAM or your CPU on a single machine, you might say, that's getting bad. We're getting close to having a problem. On a machine that's running many, many servers, and you really have a good baseline image of what types of traffic you expect on there, that 80% number of RAM utilization or processing power or network traffic, that might be fine for you. That might be your sweet spot because you want these 100 machines to run and use 80% of the resources you have available. If you buy extra stuff just to have extra stuff sit there, what's the point? So 80% is not always bad. It really depends on the situation. So again, write to your audience, and your solution is going to depend on your needs. Thanks.